After receiving the first dose of Dr. Rubin's treatment in Apple TV Plus's drama series The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray tries to remember what happened to Coydog's treasure in the third episode of the show. Barring the side effects, Rubin's treatment helps Gray with his memory and composure. He strikes a deal with the doctor irrespective of Robin's opposition. An encounter with Shirley Ring leads Gray to reminiscence about the first time he met the love of his life. Since the episode ends with an astounding revelation concerning the mysterious treasure, we have taken a detailed look at its ending. Let us share our thoughts. Episode 3 of The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray starts in the past, as we explore more of Gray's family history. His brother, Coydog, arrives and encourages Ptolemy to leave with him in the middle of the night. Ptolemy can't remember exactly what he's been tasked to do, but in this dream, an elderly Ptolemy turns back into a child. Coydog has stolen treasure from a guy called Clive, which he's buried deep inside a well. He gives instructions to the young boy, pointing out exactly where it's buried. After dropping a lantern down and watching as the flames lick hungrily across the ground and then extinguish, the pair part ways. Unfortunately, Coydog is surrounded and forced to watch his brother be beaten down by a bunch of white folks. Ptolemy has been asleep for several days after his incident last episode, and a worried Robin is there to see him awaken. She's called the doctor who wants to bring him in, but Ptolemy is certainly on the mend, at least temporarily. The drug appears to have worked as Ptolemy gets himself dressed up in a suit and arrives with Robin to see Dr. Rubin. Given less than 10% of patients see a physical improvement, Rubin is surprised to see Ptolemy improving so much. He warns that fevers will return from night to night, but he needs a second shot in order to bring all of his memories back. The peak effect is only going to be 4 weeks, at most 6 or 7. However, this could also have an adverse effect of deteriorating Ptolemy's condition and speeding up entirely after this wears off. Robin doesn't think this is a good idea, but for Ptolemy, he's convinced that he needs to finish what he started. In doing so, he also gets a solid $5,000 too. Rubin needs a signed release in order to get the second dose, but Ptolemy drives a hard bargain and eventually takes the shot. With Ptolemy starting to get his memories back and his condition improving, he speaks to Robin about how he was feeling. They're distracted by Shirley though, who shows up to return the money that she borrowed from Ptolemy before. She's also grateful for him standing up for her, even in his time of need. Roger Dawes shows up to see Robin, talking to her about Reggie. When he finds out Reggie has been killed, he's shocked and wants to drop by to pay his sympathies to Ptolemy. He even offers her to carry Robin's bags too. Walking with her, Robin eventually promises to ring him after he walks her to his place. Inside the house, Shirley says her goodbyes as Ptolemy lights the stove. In doing so, the flames brings him back to the moments involving Coydog, where he looks to be lynched by the men. As they throw a rope over the tree, we cut back to the present. Robin is moving her things and eventually she heads out for dinner with Ptolemy at the diner. Ptolemy is dead set on finding who killed Reggie, and with his memories coming back, that should be easier to do. For now, more flashbacks shed light on Ptolemy's past, and, specifically, how he met the love of his life, Sentia. She approaches Ptolemy after he's gone for a run, and quizzes him over what he's doing. Coydog actually gave him some solid advice back in the day, claiming that there comes a time when every black man must run, and he's been practicing for that moment ever since. Ptolemy has also been reading a lot too, another of Coydog's words of wisdom. The pair get along well, but it doesn't take long for a man named Ezra to show and sling his masculine weight around. He challenges Ptolemy, but Sentia calms him down, walking away. That doesn't stop Sentia's interest in him though, as she heads over to his place after leaving Ezra. Unfortunately, Ezra shows up with a baseball bat and begins smacking Ptolemy. Only, Sentia gets a gun out and shoots him down multiple times. Just before she hits the killing blow, Ptolemy grabs her and stops Sentia from shooting him. In the middle of the night, Ptolemy awakens and decides to dig up the black treasure. With a knife in hand, he pulls the carpet apart and begins opening up the floorboards, believing he's about to find the... Where is Coydog's treasure? Does Gray find the black heart? When Coydog stole the treasure aka Black Heart from Clive Miller, he wanted Gray to use it for the betterment of their people. After hiding the treasure at a nearby well, Coydog instructed Gray to take it when it is safe to do so. Even though Coydog managed to steal it safely, several white men captured and lynched him for his actions. However, due to his dementia, Gray forgot where he kept the treasure upon taking it from the well. As the eyewitness of Coydog's sacrifice, Gray knows that he should locate the treasure soon. When Dr. Rubin explains that the pace of his memory loss will only increase with the treatment he receives after a certain period, Gray accepts it for the sake of finding the treasure. Upon taking the second shot of Dr. Rubin's drug, Gray starts to regain his memory more efficiently. He thinks about the first time he met Sencha and the events that happened after their first encounter. He remembers Ezra's interruption and the fight he had with him, only for Sencha to shoot at the floor, creating a bullet hole. The sudden return of his memories helps Gray to connect the dots and remember that he kept the treasure beneath the floor Sencha shot to scare Ezra in his apartment itself. He wakes up from his dream and asks Robin to help him find the treasure. He tries his best to break the floorboards to retrieve the black heart he had been searching for a long time. Even though Gray's decision to continue with Dr. Rubin's treatment is nothing but extremely risky, he will fulfill one of his aspirations by finding the treasure. In the fourth episode, we may see whether the treasure is beneath the floor itself. If yes, we may see what Gray will do with the treasure and whether it is connected to Reggie's murder. Since Coydog had to trade his life for the treasure, Gray has an emotional responsibility to fulfill Coydog's wish to utilize the treasure for the good of their community. Before his memory starts to fade away again, we may see Gray accomplishing Coydog's dream.